Rebbe continues. We need to understand. Oh, he's darling. Okay, when Jimmy Mesiras Nefesh, we said that the whole idea of Imi is what? Mesiras Nefesh. Agdamanas and the Nishma is what? Mesiras Nefesh. The Mesiras Nefesh in a bittul. The whole idea of Mesiras Nefesh is what? Bittul, you mean mevatel yourself. Merfrat, the fee. Mavula is base. Now Torah shot the knesses is Dim like Baruch Haidei, she Dimanas the Nishma. Mefrata, we said the whole idea of Akdamas Nas and the Nishma is what? Bittul of the person. And what? It's the idea of Mesiras Nefesh. He's being machtir, he's giving a crown, he's crowning the Eibishter, the Melech, his mother Kaviyachal, which comes through the bittul of Mesiras Nefesh. Bittul of Akdamas Nas and the Nishma. This is a bittul of Akdamas Nas and the Nishma we're going to do. And then we're going to hear, then we're going to understand who ha-bittul the Baal HaRatz. It's the bittul of the Baal HaRatz, and he's been mevatel himself to the Baal HaRatz, to the one that wants his Ratzin to be Nishlam. I'm being mevatel myself to the Baal HaRatz. So it comes, Maya Ma'ila da bittul the biti ala bittul dimi. We said that through a person doing a Ma'isa mitzvah, and he doesn't exist, he's being ma'amshich what? Atzma Seirin Tzoiv, bittul is here, bittul is involved. He doesn't exist. So the Eibishter comes and he's mamshich himself into Gashmis. The whole idea of being Mekayim mitzvah is dafka through bittul. And the whole idea of Mesiras Nefesh is what? Bittul. All of a sudden you call him Bas, and here you call him Mimi. It's bittul. Bittul is bittul. In one place we call it Bas, in one place we call it Imi. Ma'i ha'mayla the biti ala bittul d'imi. What is the mayla of the bittul of biti? You're nothing. You're doing a mitzvah, you don't exist. You're going on Mesiras Nefesh, you also don't exist. So what's the difference of the bittul involved? What's the difference between them? Shloimar by the Rebbe, Shloimar by a chassid is a vadai. The Rebbe is saying, Chidush. Shloimar b'zeh, sha'abittul Akdamas Nas l'nishma, the bittul of Akdamas Nas l'nishma. Why is that different? Hushi Yisra, well, Kiblu Alayim Il Ma'achos Shemayim. The Yid is going on Mesiras Nefesh. The Yid is Mekabel on himself Il Ma'achos Shemayim. He needs to be Mekabel on himself the yoke. He's doing because the Eibishter wants, but it's Mekabel on him. The oil is on something. The oil is not on it's on the behemoth. The oil is on the behemoth. So the behemoth is mekabel on himself oil. Is there a behemoth involved? Is there a person involved that's being mekabel on himself oil malchus shemayim? Yeah. So the difference is that when a person is mekabel on himself oil malchus shemayim, even though it's Mesiras Nefesh, shabitul the kabbalas oil malchus shemayim, he lo yirak benogei lekeach ha'maiser shalei. Yaseh kol mashi tzava gam be'etzim mitzius. Shkol mitzius yuzeh shu abdi shel melech. You want to tell me that it's what? He's being mevatel himself. He's being mekabel on himself to Ratzin. He's being mevatel himself to the Melech Malchi Amlach HaMakadosh Baruch Hu. His whole mitzias is being now bottled to the mitzias of the Melech Malchi Amlach HaMakadosh Baruch Hu. Mikamakim. Nevertheless, Kevin Chakabala Soil Malch Shemaim Ba Mitzad Adam. Where does it come from? What does it come from? Mitzad Adam. Shehu Kibel. Allah the Yis Avdei Shalom Melech. He's being mekabel on himself to be the Ebed of the king. He's being mevatel himself to the Melech. There's episode, there's something here involved. His own mitzias is being mevatel himself to the Melech. The same thing is with the Mesiras Nefesh of the Bechina of Yimi. The Eibishter planted in every single Yid mitzad teva neshama Mesiras Nefesh, and this Mesiras Nefesh of Akdamas Nas l'nishma b'teva of the person came out b'matan Torah, and again it's the person being mevatel himself to the Melech. What is the emes of bittul? Shehabittul mitzad adin. When the bittul is mitzad adin, not mitzad the person. When there is no mitzias of the Adam involved, that's the shleimus bitten. When the bittul comes mitzad the Adam said to do a mitzvah, and the person does the mitzvah, that's the shleimus bittul. Not like it was by Matan Torah, not the way it is when a person goes on Mesiras Nefesh. The Rebbe continues and the Rebbe adds that a person could come and say, you took me out of Mitzrayim, so I don't have another Breda. It's a different bittul. It's a different bittul. This bittul that the Yidden came before Matan Torah, and he said, Nas Nishma, to the bittul of after, of being Mekayim a mitzvah. I didn't have another choice. What does it say? This that the Yid is mekabel on himself to be able to the Eibishter. There's a idea over here that you didn't have another choice. You're forced. You have to be mevatel yourself to the Melech. He took you out of Mitzrayim. And this Indian is nimshach b'shas be'ikar b'shas matan Torah. So there's bedakus. There's this idea of a person being mevatel himself to the shleima, to the ratzon of the Adam. Emes bittul is when the bittul comes mitzad the Adam, not mitzad the person. Ois hey, according to this here, shleimar we could say mailas abitul de biti, al abitul de imi. What's the maila of biti? Bas, a daughter, over the bittul of this idea of nullifying yourself, higher the level of bas, which is a daughter, higher than the level of a mother. Avsha bittul de biti oil mitzvahs. Even though it's what oil mitzvahs is going to get the a physical action. Last is mashing it's started to do what you're told. Bittul the imi and the bittul of the mother. It's the etzim of the person. It's a soul. It's a core. It's the essence of a person, and it's not the idea of a ma'aser gashmi. It's more than that. It's the etzim is coming out. The etzim is being. He's going on b'stiris nefesh. He doesn't even need to do anything. He's ready to stay a yid. Kanal siv dalid. Nevertheless, ki il Yisrael the kaim es mitzvah shenitne b'matan Torah b'nei b'matan Torah also because baruch hu isum la'avodim. And this that the yid is being mekayim lan himself il mitzvahs what because the Eibusher made him a heaven. Amitis abitul yishloimar. This is the emes abitul yishloimar. That what? What's the Rebbe giving? What's the Rebbe being mechadish by this? And this that we know that it's explained in Kam Bekemis and Chassidus, the whole idea of Bas. Bas is Mekabel, the daughter is Mekabel. It doesn't have anything for itself. Everything that it has is what they give her. Klum. It doesn't have anything. Whatever they give it from above. The Kavanah here. The Kavanah in this is Shigam Abidl the Kabbalah Sa'il. Also this Kabbalah Sa'il Bidl that the person has, he's Makabal on himself, the oil on himself, which means what? There's Metzias Adam involved. He's being Makabal on himself, the oil. Even this Bidl of the person's own Metzias involved, who Loi Mishel Atzmei. It's not his own. It's not his bittul, even though he's been makabel on himself the oil. Hakdamas nas nishma is what kabbalah oil. How does he have this bittul? Because matan Torah baruch hu Yisrael yisloy la'avodim. The Eibusher chose the Yidden to be his avodim, and that's how he has the koyach to be makabel on himself the oil. Even though this Adam makabel oil, it's because the Eibusher decided. Yesh lekasher. A few interesting in Yonim in the Haaretz. Yesh lekasher zeh. The Rebbe continues in Hey, you can connect this to Yesh lekasher zeh imam avur le'el ba'ascholas ha'maimer in the beginning of the Maimer b'Teirah in the Maimer that we brought down from Chanukah that the Alter Rebbe explains. The Bas Tzin Knesset Yisrael is Managalus. He said Bas Tzin is Knesset Yisrael, the Yidden is Managalus, and Tzin is Managula. Yeah, better the Bas is Gala Beikar, but is Managalus. The Ikar is Galus of Bas Tzin comes out where is Managalus. Let's explain in the Dibra Maskell that we mentioned in Teirah in Chanukah. Is Managalus that Yidden find himself in exile. Especially in the time of Ikvasid Mashiach, the heel, the lowest generation. The Kabbalah Sa'il, the heel is the Kabbalah Sa'il, the generation we find ourselves in. Halamas v'hastadim hem gedolim miyai. The halamas v'hastadim are very, very, very great. There's tons of halamas v'hastadim. Yesh no halamas v'hastadim sha'adam mitzad atzmei gama yedei kabbalah seil shadoi shemekabel b'ritzoinei kemen shum mugbal ein b'yichotel izgaber alei. Even the kabbalah zil that you have, you're mekabel on yourself al machal shemaim, because the person is a physical person and he is limited in a limited world, there is halamas v'hastadim that he can't overcome. He's limited in a physical world. And this the deed as a kerch to be misgaber on the halamas v'hastadim. Allahu the fish habit the kabbalah soil shalom who loy mitzad hamitziu shalom elu mitzad alikus. Nechagas baruch bacher b'am nisle davodim legabi alikus ein hagbalis. And this that a person has a kerch to overcome the halamas v'hastadim, it's not mitzad adam, because a person himself is mugbal. How does a person have the kerch to be overcome the halamas v'hastadim in zman hagalus? Because the Eibishter picked the person. The Eibishter chose me, chose you, chose every single one. He chose the Yiddish neshama. Because of that, we have the koyach to overcome physical halamas v'hastadim in Eilam Haza Agashmi, because we're connected to Elikus. And Legabi Elikus ein hagbalus. It's a very, very important ha'ara. Legabi Elikus ein hagbalus. Ha'ara 32, that's on these words. To explain it in a few words, when it says by Matan Torah, Kafalim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Harke Gigis, we know there's a lot of pirushim in this idea. A person comes to the Eibishter with a taina, you picked up the mountain, you tell me, Oder, or you're going to take the Torah, or I'm going to bury you right here. You forced me to take the Torah. Right now that a person has a Helam V'Hester, and he's nishal in an Aveda, he falls through in doing something which is against the Eibishter's will. He calls out to the Eibishter and he tells the Eibishter, it's your fault, it's not my fault. You would have buried me under the Har Sinai, so I had to say yeah. Kaf Aleim Arke Gigis. There's a lot of pirushim. We want to mention the pirush that the Rebbe brings here from the Baal Shem Tov. The idea of Kafalim Harke Gigis, you could say Harke Gigis is in and of Makif, a whole bunch of nice inyonim. The Rebbe wants to tell you a very, very, very great chiddush. That the Eibishter brought out a ahava, a very, 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 very great ahava. He showed the Yidden a very, very great ahava. And they weren't able to say no. Harke Gigis, there was a kfiyah in a ahava de ka'ifin. The ahava, the Eibishter came out to the Yidden and they didn't have another option. The Eibishter just showed them more and more and more and more love. He showed his children such a love that they couldn't say no, they can't. All of a sudden, they would feel uncomfortable to do something that their father doesn't want. He just gave the Ava such a strong Ava, and that's what affected the children to be makabel on themselves, the Torah. They didn't say no because of the Ava. The Ava was in the oifin of Kafa Aleim Harke Gigis. Milmayla, the Eibishter just brought out such a great Ava. This is what the Rebbe is being mechadish over here. That the Kafa, Shatam Shakafa Goes Baruch Aleim is Harke Gigis, like we explained in the Gemara Shabbos, and because of that, you're in Makdim Nasal Nishma. The Rebbe says over here, because they felt it's chayvus to this idea, the Ava that the Eibishter brought out to the Yidden. The person is all the mugbal and this and that. So we said that a person has the kayach because he's connected to likus and the gab likus. There's no akbalus. The few important artists, all the artists are important, and it's kedai to go into these, to learn to know these inyanim. He continues with the Shabbos parshas ba'alois l'shachar is marmat hirisenu. Roney, ושמחי basti, and now we can understand the question we had in the beginning of the Maimer. Why is the Haftarah Davke the meaning of opposite of Cheres, the meaning of Galus? Haftarah of Matan Torah is basti, which is seemingly the lowest darky. Avshin and Ma'ila the Yem Chasun Nasi. There's the Indian, Matan Teda is what? Yem Chasun Nasi. The man Matan Teda, he Atara Shat Lo Yimei. And the whole idea of Matan Teda is Imoi. We come Kaviyachol, the Eibishter's mother, will be Mashpia. Everything we do, there's an effect that we have on the Eibishter. What is the main focus and the goal that the Eibishter wants? Ma'abidu the Imi. To take the mile of bas, which is a very, very high bittul, and to get a higher bittul, which is ba. To take imi, which is zman matan Torah, and turn it over to a higher bittul, which is bas. Bastin, naila yeser, then the bittul of imi. The whole idea is to come to a higher bittul of bittul mitzvah adam. It's not the bittul of the person being makabel on himself to oil, and the person is doing the mitzvah because it's the idea of yegia achar kach le bittul naila yeser bittul the biti bastin, which is a higher level of bittul. Ad kan ois hey.